As if year 2020 and year 2021 weren't unpredictable and challenging enough, there is no doubt that year 2022 will be another year of tests. From the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic to the worsening climate impacts and devastating humanitarian crisis, and from curbing poverty to closing gender divide. Still enjoying your life, folks? Get ready to face the challenges of 2022 and ensure that you are prepared for it.
Who are you?
I'm your Infinity Speaker. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to discuss the 5 main challenges of the year 2022. So without wasting time, let's check it out. Challenge number 1 is COVID-19 recovery and response remain paramount. As we are entering into the 3rd year of the COVID pandemic, it is worth taking a moment to appreciate the remarkable speed with which the vaccines were designed, developed and implemented, such as COVID Shield and Covaxin. 2022 must be the year that we close the massive gaps in the global pandemic response and meet the global target of getting 70% of the people in every country vaccinated by mid-year. To meet the target, we need to tackle the vexing persistence of the vaccine inequality head-on. While 66% of people in high-income countries had at least one dose in arms as of now, in contrast to 9% in low-income countries. Marshalling high-level leadership of this response will be paramount. Without meeting this goal, we are resigning ourselves to a dangerous, vicious cycle.
You don't scare me!
Challenge number 2 is poverty reduction and the promise of leaving no one behind. A devastating number of people have slid back to poverty, reversing gains that were made in the previous decades. Do you know that nearly 100 to 150 million people were pushed to extreme poverty in the year 2021 due to the compounding effects of COVID-19 pandemic?
I don't know.
Alright, many of the people live in fragile, conflict-prone and climate risk environments, which makes their problem even more harder. Countries that are bearing the greatest burdens and setbacks are those least able to respond due to limited domestic resources and high debt burdens.
Oh, hell no!
We all know what is happening in Sri Lanka right now. Challenge number 3 is accelerating climate ambition, impact and accountability. This year saw the most anticipated UN climate change conference since the countries met in 2015 to negotiate the Paris Agreement, which aims to limit the global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees centigrade over pre-industrial levels. An important element of Paris Agreement is a ratchet mechanism to ensure that actors come back to the table every 5 years to put forward more ambitious climate goals and to keep the promise of Paris on track. But we are nowhere near to meet the promise of the Paris Agreement. 2022 will be a year to keep laser focus on building greater ambition and accountability. It will face some serious headwinds. Carbon emissions rebounded in 2021 despite a slowing economy amid an unrelenting pandemic.
No.
For God's sake, don't do this. Point number 4 is propelling urgent action for gender equality. 2 historic gender equality forums held in New Mexico and Paris mobilized nearly $40 billion in commitments from government organizations, private entities, and even civil societies. In 2022, these commitments to issues ranging from economic justice and rights to feminist movements and leadership will need to be translated into action. For example, certain private entities increasingly outpace government organizations when it comes to setting up and implementing policies for gender equality. From standardizing equal pay, offering paid parental leave, and advancing women's leadership, the business community is making strides for women in the workplace.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Challenge number 5 is growing humanitarian crises and conflicts. The world is facing unprecedented levels of humanitarian need. In 2022, nearly 274 million people are expected to need humanitarian aid, which is already 20% higher than what it was in 2021. Digging into the data reveals a number of troubling trends. Increases in the forced displacement, more people on the edge of acute famine, the concentration of the vaccine inequality reality. In Afghanistan alone, approximately 5 million more people would require human assistance than in 2021. Likewise, the growing conflict in Ethiopia is expected to place an additional 5 million people in need of assistance. So heading into another year of pandemic, it can seem difficult to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But 2022 offers important opportunities to ensure that we make real progress to achieve a healthier world. If you really like my video, hit the bell icon and subscribe to my channel. Till then, take care. Bye-bye. To meet this target, we need to tackle the vexing persistence of the we need to tackle the vexing persistence of the vaccine inequality head on. For God's sake, don't do this. For God's sake, don't do this. For God's sake, don't do this. For God's sake, don't do this.